from one of the very first games, such as Pong on the Atari in 1972. To virtual reality gaming that many now have on the PlayStation 4 Pro to this day.
I don't know, alright, let's touch gloves. Let's do it! Come on, dude! Whoa! Whoa! He just hit me!
We explore the evolution of gaming to see how it's impacted society today. At first, games were very simplistic with one goal in mind, such as Donkey Kong in 1981, where it was released on the Atari 2600. It's where Mario has to save Peach from Donkey Kong. Sonic the Hedgehog in 1991 is a platform game developed by Sonic Team and published by Sega for the Sega Genesis console. These two mascots, Nintendo and Sega, were going head to head in a massive rivalry over the years. Games such as the Olympics is a prime example where these two have gone toe to toe to see who is the victor. Now there are games that have a huge dynamic to it where you can have so much to do and it still wouldn't be done. For example, Red Dead Redemption 2, which is released on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and the PC very recently, which explores the Western frontier dying out and a modern age beginning.
The game is an attempt to capture this pivotal moment when the Age of Outlaws was ending and the modern world was born. There is a huge world to explore, set across a range of America's heartland and frontier. From harsh mountain trails and dense forests to untamed swamplands and sweeping deserts, rugged livestock towns to modernizing cities and much more.
Telltale is a prime video game company which is specific to multiple choices which can drive a story, like Walking Dead.
Whoever designed this episode so far did a fantastic job at this.
And Life is Strange.
Would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho! No!
Whoa. What the fuck? How can that be?
How has this impacted people today? I ask people these questions. And these are the answers I received.
I think it's done very well over the past few years with the graphics and enhancements that's been going on.
I think it's a really good pastime and a hobby.
Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, quite a lot ever since I was a kid.
I think it's good fun, you know, for kids to, you know, get together with their friends and that, play video games and that way of spending their free time.
So you could say back in the day that was the sort of stuff they do. You go to the arcade, meet up together, play on those machines. But then today it's like, don't you have to leave your front doorstep and you can just talk to anyone?
Yeah, that is absolutely the case. You know, you'd like meet up with your friends and that, and it was a good way of getting together and that, socialising and that.
I think I'd be doing 360 back in the past.
My first console, I'd have to say, was a Nintendo DS.
It was the Nintendo DS, the original one.
I usually play about 10 hours, which is quite a lot, to be honest.
So you'd say you're a pretty avid gamer then?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
When I was a kid, like 10, no exaggeration. But now that I'm older, I only spend like 5 hours a day.
Oh, too many to count.
I think the graphics have got a lot better, so it's more realistic over time. I think I was playing like Gears of War and Far Cry 3 and all that.
I think it's become more interactive and the graphics have definitely gotten a lot better.
Well, have you tried any of that out, like, in this present day?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I've tried a few recent games.
Like what?
Well, I really like Overwatch and Fortnite. And Injustice.
Injustice?
Injustice would have to be my favourite game out of them all.
I think it's changed a lot because I mean it went from you actually had to go somewhere to play them, for example the arcade, and now you can put a headset on and turn your head and the game turns with you and that, so it's definitely come a long way.
So you could say over time it's gotten more positive than negative in terms of change?
Well, as gaming's evolved, they've increased in positives and negatives. Like playing online has a lot of positives and negatives. Like you can socialise with your friends without like leaving the house, but the negatives are people can bully you and.
Personally, I think the VR that's out obviously now is going to be better because I think it's going to be just as graphical as it is as online gaming.
So you could say some of these movies like Ready Player One, for example, is a good depiction of the future then?
Basically, yes, that's what I think.
I think it's going to continue to get more realistic and more interactive because we already have like VR headsets and that kind of stuff. So I think it's definitely going to become more interactive in the future.
So some like movies like Ready Player One, for example, is a good depiction of the potential future of gaming then?
Yeah, very much so.
So you think that's a realistic standpoint then?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think it will get a lot further in advancement. Like the graphics will improve and.
So you think like some of these movies like Ready Player One, for example, is a good depiction of the future then?
Yeah, I think it certainly is, yeah.
Gaming could evolve even more into the near future. That, however, is something we can only speculate and wait for in the time being. What do you think? How far will gaming evolve yet?
Game over.